so my role was to work with the industry, with my own marketing people who were assigned to me, and with the development people who were working on the development of solutions. IBM had worked to develop, and actually did develop, a electronic cash register a few years before, but it didn't succeed. They never took it to market. They decided it wasn't going to be competitive and dropped it. But a few years later, I think maybe 3 years later, they began to think about, with the new technologies that had come along, about the possibility of building a more sophisticated system that they called the retail store systems, much more than a cash register. And this work was already underway when I was assigned this responsibility to work with the development organization, who was working on the development, in the early stages, working on the development of this retail store system activity. My job was to work with the industry, the customers, and with the industry groups, the UPC committee and the symbol committee ultimately, and the development people, to make sure that we were doing the job we need to do for the customers, and that we were working with the industry and helping them, and because they were going to be the platform upon which we would build the systems, and then getting feedback from the customers, and my team was doing a lot of work to quantify the benefits of having such systems in the store, doing the financial analysis work and getting customer feedback on that, and ultimately to make the decision as to whether we could continue to invest in this business and have a successful business that would provide a return to IBM and to our customers who use the systems. So that was my role, and I worked to get to know the people in the industry. It wasn't something that I'd been involved in before, and get educated on the development work that was underway. And one day, a gentleman by the name of Ed Eigler, who was a very senior industry, we call them industry reps, who worked with the retailing industry and other allied industries, as one of the IBM experts in the field, and he was very well known and very well respected by the customers and by me. And one day he dropped by my office and he said, "Marvin," he said, "I think you need to get involved with this Universal Product Code Committee and make sure that we're supporting them right, and that we provide all the help we can to them." And he was right, and I went to meet these people and understand what they were trying to do, and then I became sort of the coordinating point between all of the various IBM organizations who were trying to support them and the committee itself. And it was a very interesting and challenging job over a period of time, as was working with the customers to try to determine whether there was a technical plan that would work and a business plan. Stop there. Now, the IBM approach initially to these store systems were based on a key entry approach. That is, the checkers, who normally would key in the price into the cash register, would key in a code of the item, on the item, into the computer terminal at the cash register station. And that code would be captured. It would be used to look up the price and the description of the item and print that on the checkout slip. And it would store that sale in its memory so that that data could be collected and then used for many, many different things to improve the operations of the store. It became obvious to me over a reasonably short period of time working with the customers that they were thinking that the key entry system really wasn't going to pay off the kind of benefits that were needed, and that it would slow down the checkout operation, which was not acceptable. It would, you'd have to key in more digits than just a 2 or 3 digit price amount. And the industry committee, the UPC subcommittee, was working toward